Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Rex. Today, come on, really?
Uh-huh.
It's the Ardbeg Day.
It is Ardbeg Day. This is a gift from patron saints, Kat Rajnay Shane Jeffcoat.
To patron saint of whiskey.
Now,
Class.
I'm excited about this. This is a committee release of Ardbeg. It's a special day, just means this is a pretty rare whiskey.
Okay.
But we'll compare it to a more known Ardbeg.
So, what is a committee release?
Friends, it's the Insiders fan club.
Okay.
You can join the committee, right? Because there was some book I read that made some statement about Islay as a population, like 3,000 or 4,000 people, but or 5,000 or something like that. But it's got like
tiny,
almost 3,000 committees. Oh, well, we'll start a committee for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the committee of Ardbeg is the Insiders Club,
Yeah.
and you get first shot at buying committee releases, and they may not make it to retail.
Huh.
Every once in a while, something's scaled up and it makes it to retail. This is a 19-year-old. It's a mix of sherry and bourbon cask finished Ardbeg.
46.2%.
It's supposed to be a balance.
46.2%. There is basically this heavy layer that is subduing, keeping them from getting like spiky or aggressive or loud. It's like this thick layer of some type of salt, watery must on top of that whole thing. Are you getting this?
Yeah, but it's fruity too.
And almost maybe some tobacco. I'm not going. So again, before we get into the fruity, like the cornerstone flavors.
It's smoky.
Yes, it's smoky.
Intensely briny smoky.
Briny smoky, but again, that brininess, I think it feels like there's this big wet blanket of brininess on top of the other flavors that I often get on the nose of Ardbeg.
That's true. It's subduing everything, even though it's dramatic.
Yeah.
It's like hearing somebody like this.
Yes. Ooh.
Oh, it's subtle.
It is.
I would never have guessed it would be that lightly fruity. There's like a pear almost.
Oh. So before we get there, I'm going to say the smoke, the briny salt water, not meaty, savory, hammy, right? Not campfire, but savory, briny, and then there's like almost this tobacco layer.
Yeah, but it's
and then a tobacco layer,
bready.
and then like a mint leaf. Mm-hmm. Like a mint leaf with this.
Yeah, because it's almost refreshing on the palate.
Again, I'm going to double down on the tobacco note. Doubling down.
If you're getting tobacco, it's close. It's not a true pipe aromatic tobacco.
No, I'm talking about cigar. You'll often get like a barbecue meatiness. This is more of like a burning tobacco leaf type of smoke.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Like a light Connecticut wrapper.
Now, is this the classic?
This is the classic 10.
Ardbeg 10.
Because it's 9 years younger.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see
how much.
What stays behind.
Is there a color difference that's meaningful? They're both very light.
They're both very, very. The 19's a little darker.
Yeah.
All right, the soul of them is very similar. Ironically, that 10-year-old is
fruitier.
It's fruitier and it's much more bright, shiny, spicy on the palate.
Yeah.
That 19 is calmed down. Rough edges are sanded off. All of the same characteristics are there, but it's being bitten by a lion with velvet teeth.
Psilocybin in here. So, between the two, just for sheer enjoyment, I'm gonna. It begs to be picked apart. You get in there, you get this thick, wet, briny blanket of flavors, and then all the ones that are underneath it, they're subdued, but they're still there. You want to chase after them and figure out what's going on. Oh, Benjamin Eves. Make it out to South Carolina much? I do!
Yeah. You got the family there.
My wife is from there. All her family's over there. Favorite place to see here. So Charleston.
Charleston's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Great food.
And then we often make our way over to Myrtle Beach every once in a while.
I've never been to Myrtle Beach. Now, my dad lived in Aiken, South Carolina.
The Redneck Riviera.
Yeah, I thought that was Florida.
They're all rednecks south of Tennessee.
My dad lived in Aiken, South Carolina for a while, which is closer to Columbia.
Oh, right.
And there's this place over there called the Hitchcock Woods. It's one of the largest inside like a regional city area woods in the world, or in the U.S., and it's amazing. They still do old school like hound hunts there, like with the horses jumping and the hounds running. And
Are they? So they're like after raccoons or something, or foxes?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's now it's a formality. That's not a real animal they're chasing, but it's like a steeplechase.
Poor
basically.
dogs. I guess that's good for the foxes and raccoons.
Yeah.
Let's add a little water.
Because this one is ringing in at
46.
46. You can do the comment while we're letting this water settle.
We got Christopher McKee. I want to know more about the future plans for Crowded Barrel and any plans for whiskeys that are outside of a classic bourbon or scotch.
So we're we just put into baby barrels that amalgamation.
Yes.
Which was 12 different grains
Right.
in one mash bill.
So that was a fun one. Basically,
that was weird.
We asked the MBs to vote on stuff. And anytime they ever vote on anything, can we say this?
Yes, we can. We're not driving a purchase.
Just don't go do anything. Don't go do anything. Just pay attention.
Just listen to the story.
Okay. Usually it's a winner take all type of voting system. And we'll have a few different options. This time it's like, okay, let's have people vote
On 12 grains.
on 12 grains. And this time every single vote shows up in the mash bill.
in the mash bill.
So based
at
on
the percentage it was voted on.
Yeah.
So the biggest one was like 20%.
it's like Bloody Butcher corn, which is so expensive.
It is expensive.
You bastards.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to keep doing as many interesting things as the bastards vote on to do. So.
Yeah. Well, that and then people always ask, what categories and types of whiskeys do you want to make?
All of them.
He wants to make all.
I want to make all of them. Okay, now that's more of the wood smoke comes out.
Oh yeah, the oakiness does show up a bit. It's still not oaky like a bourbon oaky, but that wood character does show up a bit more. You get a little bit of that ashiness.
Oh wow, and it is black pepper now. Wow, it gets spiky and then flat ashy. Much better without the water.
It is better without the water. You have that big, thick, briny, wet blanket, and then everything underneath that blanket just got dissolved. Just kind of got melted down and watered away, and then there's some ashiness in there. Yeah, super interesting.
Thank you, guys. That's a good one.
Did you see what he wrote?
Colt be praised, the Colt of Ardbeg.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
You steal me, you steal your liver.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.